Chapter 57. Preparation for the Law-Giving. Exodus chapter 19, verses 10 to 25. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go unto the people, and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes, and be ready against the third day. For the third day the Lord will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves, that ye go not up into the mount, or touch the border of it. Whosoever toucheth the mount shall be surely put to death. There shall not an hand touch it, but he shall surely be stoned, or shot through. Whether it be beast or man, it shall not live. When the trumpet soundeth long, they shall come up to the mount. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people, and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, Be ready against the third day, come not at your wives. And it came to pass on the third day in the morning, that there were thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mount, and the voice of the trumpet exceeding loud, so that all the people that was in the camp trembled. And Moses brought forth the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the nether part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was altogether on a smoke, because the Lord descended upon it in fire, and the smoke thereof ascended as the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount quaked greatly. And when the voice of the trumpet sounded long, and waxed louder and louder, Moses spake, and God answered him by voice. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mount. And the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount, and Moses went up. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go down, charge the people, lest they break through unto the Lord to gaze, and many of them perish. And let the priests also which come near to the Lord sanctify themselves, lest the Lord break forth upon them. And Moses said unto the Lord, The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou chargest us, saying, Set bounds upon the mount, and sanctify it. And the Lord said unto him, Away, get thee down, and thou shalt come up, thou and Aaron with thee. But let not the priests and the people break through to come up unto the Lord, lest he break forth upon them. So Moses went down unto the people, and spake unto them. Exodus chapter 19, verses 10 to 25. We have here the incidents immediately preceding the giving of the Ten Commandments. The law is delivered to Moses to give to the people, and the people are commanded to prepare themselves to receive God's covenant law. They are told, first of all, through Moses, to sanctify themselves, verse 10. The Hebrew word kadash means to make morally or ceremonially clean. In this instance, the stress is on physical cleanliness. According to W.H. Bennett, it means bathing, washing of garments, etc., in order to become ceremonially fit for the worship. This was a public function, the receiving of God's covenant law, and all the outward forms and signs of respect were therefore commanded. To depreciate the physical marks of respect and conformity is a cheap rebellion common to small minds. 3 days were allowed for this thorough physical preparation. It was thus emphatically important. Second, the people were to stand at the foot of the mountain. Verse 17. No man or animal was to pass a marked boundary and cross over into the mountain proper. There was no mistaking the meaning of this rule. To come before any king meant coming into his presence by invitation only. Anyone crossing a given boundary without permission was subject to death. The Lord, as King over all kings, makes known that he cannot be regarded lightly nor approached casually. Neither men nor animals could thus enter the mountain area unless summoned. Third, only those summoned could cross the boundary, and this was normally a privilege given to Moses alone, although Aaron is also included. Verse 24. In Exodus chapter 24, verse 1, we are told that, on one occasion Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel were permitted by God to go part way up the mount. God was thus declaring his kingship and power, and he was insisting upon reverence and humility. The priests, verse 22, were to sanctify themselves with especial care, because they were the people with access to the throne. Hence, their duties required particular respect on their part towards God. Fourth, during this period, beginning with the 3 days, all Israel was to abstain from sex. In the fertility cults, a variety of sexual practices, including very perverted and abnormal ones, were obligatory to worship, because it was believed that sexuality meant man's participation in the ultimate fertility creation. Thus, the barren Sinai desert and the abstention from sexuality meant that God was requiring a thorough separation from humanistic doctrines of man's power and potential. What God was requiring as necessary for the reception of his covenant, man saw as irreligious and profane. The rise of Freudianism is related to the modern revival of the premises of fertility cult faith and practices. Fifth, God required people to recognize that, for the time, the mountain itself was sanctified. Verse 23. It was set apart temporarily as God's throne. We are no longer concerned about sanctifying buildings, furnishings, utensils used in worship, or homes and places of work, as was once commonplace. Ritual purification does, however, have deep biblical roots. Our Lord, in sending out the 70, said, "And when ye come into an house, salute it, and if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it, but if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you." Matthew chapter 10, verses 12 and 13. The word house is in the Greek oikian in verse 12 and oikia in verse 13. It refers to a dwelling, a building. In Matthew chapter 12, verse 4, it is oikon and refers to the temple, the house of God. The modern usage restricts reality to the state and to individuals. The Bible speaks of blessing a house, and it sees blessings and curses as abiding on a building. Matthew chapter 10, verses 14 and 15. The family gives a house its character. Thus, in Proverbs chapter 25, verse 24, we are told, "It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman and in a wide house." This same proverb appears also in Proverbs chapter 21, verse 9. In the New Testament, the word appears twice in the Greek, in 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 3, where we are told that a bishop or elder must not be a brawler. It is used in a like manner in Titus chapter 3, verse 2. The word is amakos, meaning not peaceable. The meaning is that there is no peaceful or relaxing atmosphere in a house ruled by a brawling woman, nor in a church ruled by a brawling elder. The point is that, despite our modern desacralization of everything, there can be holy places as well as holy people, and also evil places and people. Sixth, when the trumpet or ram's horn blew, the people were required to come up to the barrier point at the foot of the mountain. There was in this same verse 13, the death penalty for going beyond the designated point, but a requirement to come and stand or sit at that point. There would be thunder, lightning, and smoke, but no direct communication to them. This, from a modern perspective, was senseless and meaningless, because now everything must have a directly personal value or meaning, or it has no worth. Here, God simply says, "You will stand and wait because I say so." The point of reference is not what suits man, but what God requires. Hence, Moses is told to warn the people against violating God's fiat word. Seventh, in these verses, stress is laid on outward conformity and sanctification. Some see the spiritual and inner sanctification as uppermost in verse 6, "And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation." Calvin, however, saw the essential meaning of this statement and observed, "The nation is here called holy, not with reference to their piety or personal holiness, but set apart from others by God by special privilege." This did not by any means absolve Israel from a duty to be holy. It does make clear that man's primary holiness is found in God's calling and election. Eighth, in verse 24, we have a reference to priests. Some scholars see a problem here because supposedly there could be no priests yet, since the Levites had not yet been designated as a priestly tribe. However, in Exodus chapter 24, verse 5, we see young men, probably the firstborn, taking part in sacrifices. Because of the myth of evolution, many scholars assume that a priestly development and class came late in human history, but no research has turned up evidence for such a view. Ninth, thunder, lightning, smoke, and earthquakes mark the presence of God at Sinai. Matthew Poole's 1624 to 1679 comment here is excellent. The thunders and lightnings were sent partly as evidence and tokens both of God's glorious presence and of the anger of God, and the dreadful punishments due to the transgressors of the law, now to be delivered, and partly as means to humble and awaken and convince and terrify proud and secure sinners, that they might more reverently attend to the works and commands of God, more willingly yield obedience to them, and be more afraid of the violation of them. A thick cloud was both a fit means for the production and reception of the thunders and lightnings, and a signification as well of the invisible and unconceivable nature of God, as of the obscurity of the legal dispensation in regard of its types and shadows, etc. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 13, verse 18, chapter 4, verse 6. The trumpet was a fit instrument both for the promulgation of God's law and for the signification of that war that is between God and sinners. 10th, verse 13, as scholars have repeatedly pointed out, should read, "There shall not an hand touch him, not it," referring to the transgressor. A century ago, George Rawlinson commented, "To stop him and seize him, that is, the transgressor, another person must have transgressed the bounds, and so have repeated the acts which was forbidden. This course was to be avoided, and punishment was to be inflicted on the transgressor by stoning him, or transfixing him with arrows from within the barrier." This severe penalty must be seen in the context of verse 6, the calling of Israel to be a kingdom of priests. Despite this fact, authority had to prevail, and God here makes clear that a kingdom of priests is not a democracy, and no man can presume to be more than he is. Because Israel had been a slave people, they had to learn now that freedom did not mean a radical equality of all men. Freedom does not mean the destruction of authority and differences, but rather responsibility. In time, this equalitarianism would lead to the rebellion of Nadab and Abihu. The fact of law, however, is an important one, because God's law begins by denying that there is any equality between good and evil, between a law keeper and a law breaker.